Hello and welcome back to Flyout. Today I am making a aircraft based off of the early 60s, late 50s, the Sentry series created by the United States. If you don't know, that's the series of aircraft that includes the F-100 Super Sabre, the F-101 Voodoo, which is what I'm basing this plane off of, and the F-102. I'm not sure what it's called, Delta Dart, something like that. F-10. I don't think there's an F-103. F-104 Starfighter, the pencil plane. F-105 Thunder Chief, the plane that got shot down a lot in Vietnam, the CAS aircraft, and the F-106, which is I think a development of the F-102. This aircraft is based off the F-101 Voodoo, and it is a supersonic. I think it's supersonic, yeah. Penetration fighter, I think it's called. It was a design use requirement for like the United States. It's like escorting bombers or something like that. I think that's what penetration fighters are supposed to do. And I like this. I like this design. It's a very nice design. I like the triangle intakes, which is one of the reasons I chose to model it after the Voodoo. I also like the recessed engines behind the tail, which is I think it's a staple of McDonnell Douglas design. I think that's the company that made it, McDonnell Douglas, something like that. If it's not, correct me, but I think that's the company that made the Voodoo and the Phantom. I think the Phantom is its successor. It was more of like an intermediary step between the, I think, F3H and the Phantom. So yeah, there are a bunch of cool 60s, 50s and 60s supersonic jets. So someday I'll make more planes based off of those. But another thing I like about this plane is how the wings are shaped. They're shaped in a pretty unique way, I think. Maybe not that unique. I don't know. But I've never seen too many planes with that wing shape. So I think it looks nice. And that's basically why I chose to model it after the Voodoo, just because it looked nice. There's no like, I don't think it really did anything significant in history. I think it participated in the Vietnam War. Besides that, nothing really of note. It's not really known for the Vietnam War. That's really more of the Phantom's thing, right? Phantom is the Vietnam plane. And I would really love to see the Voodoo be added to War Thunder, but I don't think it would really be a great fit for War Thunder. I think the worst missile in the game is the AIM-9B, at least for the American tech tree. I don't know about like other like manual guidance missiles. I don't know, but most widespread standard grade missiles like the AIM-9B, right? But in reality, the F-101 never was equipped with the AIM-9B. It was the AIM-4 Falcon, which is an even earlier model of missile by the US that was impact only, pretty bad flight performance, didn't go too fast, couldn't pull too many Gs without losing lock, but it was infrared guided. There were variants of that were infrared guided and radar guided, so I guess that's cool, but it was not that good of a missile, and that's the only missile that the F-101 could be equipped with. And I think it had some rocket pods too. Maybe something along the lines of the F-89D Scorpion, that interceptor with rockets. But I don't know. I don't think it had a gun, so that's a big problem. So I don't think it would really fit too well into the War Thunder meta. but it looks cool, and that's why I want it in War Thunder. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what to say. That's a problem. I probably should like start writing like a script for these videos, at least like as some kind of a general outline. Um, I really don't know exactly what I should do. So far for all of my recordings, I've just been talking about like I just have a thought. Oh, I should talk about this, and then I talk about that. Like I really don't have a script, which is the reason I'm telling you this in the first place, because I don't have a script. If I had a script, I would be talking about something else. All right, so here we are. You can see where we are is kind of strange. So I tried setting up a custom airport, but I kind of messed up and I am underneath the ground. I have the airport is under the ground, and yeah. But it works. Like I can still like I can still I can still fly around like under the ground, and I've tested it out. I can even like fly through the terrain. It's basically like cloaking the airfield. I don't know what the Russians and Ukrainians are doing. Like this is obviously the best way to hide your airfields from enemy missile strikes. Like I mean, what are they even thinking? This shouldn't even be a problem. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna be shooting down some target drones while Sam's shoot at me as always. Alright, so we do have a target drone right here. The performance of this plane it's about average. It's not the greatest, but certainly isn't bad. It's probably actually pretty accurate for planes of the time, like the late 50s, early 60s. Like, I can go supersonic, but, like, besides that, I can't really go any faster than supersonic. Maybe, like, Mach 1.2, something like that. So, I think that's about accurate. Oh. I think that's about accurate, too. Alright, so we are already approaching the target drones here. I don't know if that will hit. That does hit. Okay, that pulled a lot of lead to hit that drone. Man, these guys are just giving me like the freest shots of my life. Even if I had like actual AIM-9Bs, I think they would be still dead, right? Because they're just flying straight. I don't know. Actually, they're not facing me. I don't know if they're... Was that rear aspect? I can't tell. Anyway, the plane turns okay. It's not the greatest. I wouldn't really recommend turn fights. I mean, like, as if I would get into a turn fight in a fly out. Like, but I think it can super cruise, which is unusual, but I'll take it. It's nice to have. And it's very stable. Like you can see, I'm not touching the controls, and it's not really doing anything. Like, sure, it is drifting downwards a bit, but besides that, it's not really like shaking or wobbling. So I think I did a pretty good job making a pretty stable aircraft. Though I do think that contributes to that the plane doesn't turn the greatest. But if you can go fast, and if the plane looks good, then, like, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, like, I think it just looks nice. Maybe being round, like, being round in the front here is a bit strange. I don't think any actual plane is that round, maybe except the Starfighter, but besides that, not really. But, why did I choose the F-101? I just think the F-101 looks really good, like, especially from a top perspective, it just looks very nice, you know. I like these triangular intakes, um, and I don't really see any triangular intakes on other like 50s and 60s supersonic fighter jets. Like I do see them on planes like the F2H and the F9F, and like the F9 something or other, whatever that thing is. Um, like, but those aren't really like supersonic, like modern jets, right? They're like post-war jets, something like that. Like Korean War, 50s, late 40s, early 50s. I mean, they were used into the 60s and maybe even later after that. But they're not the defining jets of the era. Like early 60s, late 50s, stuff like this, like the Century series of jets, those are the defining jets of the era. And like even the Phantom too. The Phantom is probably one of the most iconic aircraft that the US has ever made. Um, Probably like the Mustang, the Corsair, F-16, F-15, F-14, F-18, F-22, what the heck? What is that thing doing? F-35, like, those are like some of the most iconic jets of the era, or of, not of the era, of the, what the US has made, but the F-4, it ranks pretty highly up there on that list, and it's also still, I think it's still used by some militaries, right? I'm not sure. Probably is being phased out because it's such an old jet by this point. I'm not sure exactly when it was introduced. Probably early 60s, maybe late 50s, like around that time. Like, I kind of don't really like the Phantom for that because, like, the Sentry series of fighter jets, they're so cool, right? Like the F-100, the F-101, the F-102, like, and the F-105, the F-104. I don't really like the F-104, but the Sentry series are just some of the coolest jets of late 50s, early 60s. I should say late 50s, because mid to late 50s, because they weren't really, um, like 60s jets, were they? Like, I mean, they were used into the 60s, but they weren't really, they're not really. The Phantom is the 60s jet, the United States 60s jet, I would say, probably. But, oh, I'm gonna, oh. Oh, we're actually, oh, never mind. Um, I guess that puts an end to my rant. So, yeah. Iconic jets, maybe not iconic, but somewhat well known, and I really like them. That's the point I'm trying to get across, is that I really like these jets, and the F-101 is probably one of the best looking jets, uh, in my opinion, ever created. But I know that some people might disagree. Uh, Anyways, yes. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.